right, now on the college side, a few things that are bothering me. Now, I love the name Jean-Francois. He's a lineman for LSU. And see, we've got to work on this pronunciation game, too. But, while it's a French pronunciation, this is a good football player. And he said for LSU that their team are going to do everything they can to take out Tebow, basically. Meaning Tim Tebow, the quarterback of Florida. They play each other this week. And you know what? I don't care if he says that. I really don't. What it does, if it makes Florida more fired up and people are going to be getting after him in the swamp, fine and dandy. That's not going to be the difference in the game. Tim Tebow's man enough. When you're 6'4", or whatever, 6'3", 6'4", and you're 235 pounds, you can bench press over 400 pounds. Tim Tebow's quite capable of taking care of himself. Now, see, old school, if some guy would have said that, number one, the guys on our own team would have either taken him in the locker room and made sure that you stuffed him in a locker and said, we don't need to get anybody fired up. But even if he did say that, which remember back in the Philadelphia Eagle days where they put a bounty out on a quarterback or something, as long as it's not a cheap shot, I don't care. Isn't that the goal, to take away their best players, the other team's best players, legally? Hey, if you got a receiver crossing your face and you could hit him legally or intimidate him early on and make sure that he understands that every time he crosses your face that he better be looking with his head on a swivel, that's called gamesmanship and intimidation. We're not playing in flags. This isn't a soft game. This isn't two-hand touch in the parking lot. The hell with that. This is a physical game. And if Jean-Francois wants to say that we're going to do everything we can to take out Tebow, I don't have a problem with it. Now, if it's illegal, then, you suspend them and take that into your own hands and watch it closely. That's the official's job. And the old school also would have said, oh, he's going to say that? Well, then you know what? What you do, I can remember playing, and if somebody hit a guy later, a cheap shot, they'd come up to you, the Bruce Matthews in college when he was my offensive lineman at USC, or the Gary Zimmermans or Randall McDaniel. They simply said, what number was that? And they'll get them. If there's a cheap shot, there's an eye for an eye in the league. You don't try to hurt people. And you don't try to take people out illegally. But if a guy crosses your face, you got a chance to unload on him. And if it's Tim Tebow, like I said, he's man enough to take care of himself. And Florida gets fired up, that's fine. And people in the swamp are all over Jean-Francois. I don't care about that. We make such a big deal, oh, they're going to try to take him out. I would too. It sure increases my chances to win if Tim Tebow's not on the field. You don't think that, even though it wasn't a cheap shot on Tom Brady, it was unfortunate, and he's out, and he's hurt, and you hate that, but there was nobody trying to hurt Tom Brady. But I'll tell you what, it greatly increases the opponent's chance of winning the division and getting to the Super Bowl in the AFC without Tom Brady. Now, you don't wish that on anybody. But if all of a sudden you get a good, legal, clean hit, Tim Tebow misses 2 series, oh well. Tough. One team's loss is another team's gain, and I'd say that with anybody. If you can get Mark Sanchez out of the lineup for USC legally, then do it. You get a better chance to win. So this, oh my gosh, that he said it, it's football. It's college football. This isn't soft stuff, okay? So let it go. And you know what? If you're Florida, take care of Jean-Francois and take care of the LSU Tigers the way you're supposed to. That isn't going to be the difference in the game. Now, the other thing, speaking of Mark Sanchez, been asked the question is, who would you start this, against Arizona State? Do you let Sanchez sit on the bench and not play him and start Mitch Mustaine, who the transfer from Arkansas, who is a good football player, a really good football player. But Sanchez is, putting up Heisman numbers and playing on a really good team. Now, if he's 90% or if he's able to play, you got to play Sanchez. And here's why. Arizona State's no pushover. USC's going to have their hands full. USC can't afford to lose another football game. That'd be 2 down in the Pac-10, which is a weak conference with Oklahoma, Texas, the Penn States, Missouri, the SEC ahead of you. SC loses again, you can forget about it. They're not going to the national title game. So that's exactly what the Trojans must do. You must say, is he healthy enough? And by playing him, will it increase his chances, one, of getting hurt? And will it cost us the rest of the year? You can't be looking down, well, when we play Cal or when we play somebody else. You got to be taking care of your business now. There's only so many games. So, there's no sacred cows. And if Sanchez is able to play, and I know Mark will want to play if he's able to play. That being said, you don't rest people. This isn't a 162-game baseball season where a guy's arm's tired. Let's hold him out of a start. If he can't go, you don't play him. If he can go, you put him in a lineup because another loss by SC and there's no shot, none, at a national championship. So anybody that's questioning, let's save Sanchez. You know what? Save him in the off season. That's when you gather your rest. Like when you hear people say, hell, I'll sleep when I die. Well, you know what? If Sanchez can go, he plays because USC, there is no 3 weeks from now if they lose again. Too many teams in front of them. So you must play Mark Sanchez. Man, I'm having a blast with college football. And it's getting great this week. Oklahoma State playing Missouri, LSU, and Florida. SC going to Arizona State. There's Texas and Oklahoma. Man, if you don't like this, you're not a fan. And you don't even have to like the teams that are playing to know it's great college football. Tune yourself in. Just had to get this off my chest. We'll see you later on.
So you think you can tackle a pro? There's only one way to find out. Click on fantasy at opensports.com.